Hello there. Welcome to Financial Accounting and 5. Today we want to look at a question paper from November 2022. It's the question paper that we have November 2022. And on this question paper, we're going to look at the first question that we have on this question paper. So we've got question 1 that we want to look at this question. On the first question, the first part is 1.1, and it reads, name two components of the internal control system. So we have got different components that we have in terms of the internal control system. So we are going to list these systems that we have. Here we are on 1.1. We have got the control environment becomes one of them. Then we have also have the monitoring of control and then the risk assessment. So we can just mention two there as required by the question. So we can mention the control environment as one of them. Then the other one we have got the control activities. Control activities is the other one. Of course, you can also put some of them. We've got the monitoring of control, and then also have the risk assessment as part of those systems that we have. So on the control environment there, it refers to the overall culture of compliance with the business. It shows how both our executives and employees buy into internal controls in terms of how do they empower the issue of internal controls. And also, the more seriously the organization views internal control, the stronger the system will be. So how they view the issue of internal control determines how strongly it is going to be implemented. So this is what we have in terms of the control environment. And then on the control activities, this basically means ensuring that the proper control are in place and using accounting systems to verify that controls are actual functioning in a proper way as intended. This can include regular control testing that can be used to check these internal control systems. So this is what we have in terms of 1.1. Then we can move on to the next question to see what we have in terms of question 2. So on the second question, we are on 1.2. And the question is, give two types of insurance that could be applicable to an enterprise. So what does it mean? We've got four types, I give four types of insurance that could be applicable to an enterprise. So we're just going to list those types of insurance that we have. So this is now 1.2. We can have the motor car insurance. Motor car insurance. We can have the fire insurance also. Thirdly, we can also mention the fidelity guarantee insurance. Fidelity guarantee insurance. And then lastly, we can include the public accountability insurance. Public accountability, this covers theft, etc. Public accountability insurance. So this marks the fourth one. This marks the fourth one. So this is what we have. So we can go on to see what we have in terms of the next question. This question lists two advantages and two disadvantages of a partnership. List two advantages and two disadvantages of a partnership. So we can just try to bring these advantages and disadvantages. But basically, when we are defining a partnership comes in a form of two or more people who join together to run a business with the main aim of making a profit. Then we say there's a partnership. Remember, when you've got only one person running a business, we call it a sole proprietor. But when they become two or more, it becomes a partnership. But of course, there's a maximum that is required in terms of the maximum partners that can be there in that business, which is the maximum is 20. So this is what we have. So in terms of advantages and disadvantages there, we can just go there and try to see what advantages can we deduce from a partnership. So here, let's start by advantages. of a partnership. Right. So all the advantages is that when a partnership is formed, there are no legal requirements that are required or legal procedures that is to be followed because a partnership is not registered. What is only registered is a company. Remember, we've got three different types of businesses that we have. We have got a sole proprietor, we've got a partnership, and then we've got a company. Then a company is the only one which which goes through legal procedures. So the partnership is not part of it. So it becomes easy to operate a partnership. So it becomes an advantage. So here we can mention that it has no legal personality. It has no legal personality. It becomes one of the advantages. And then we can also look for another advantage there. Remember, they require two. We've got better decision also being made. Better decisions can be made. Remember, we have got two or more people that are there. It means that more ideas are being brought in. They are helping each other. So in terms of decision making, it means the decision is going to be made with all the partners that are there. So a better decisions will be made with different input from different partners. So this is what we have in terms of advantages. Then we can try to see what we have in terms of disadvantages now. So we are now on disadvantages. So these are disadvantages of a partnership. On disadvantages is that remember the maximum number of partners that can be there are 20, so that becomes a disadvantage. So we can say capital contribution. Capital contribution made by a maximum of 20 partners. Thereby it shows that there is a limitation there. Thereby limited capital. Thereby we've got limited capital. So this becomes one of the disadvantages. Then you can try to look for another one. Right. On the other disadvantage that we have there, we can try to see. So the other disadvantage that we can raise there is that there is we can say partners have unlimited liability. Partners with unlimited liability becomes one of the disadvantages. So unlimited liability on its own, the meaning of unlimited liability is that we see that it exists in general partnerships and sole proprietorship usually. We don't see it in companies. And it provides that each business owner is equally responsible for whatever debt accrued within a business if the company is unable to repay or default on its debts. So this is what we have. So it becomes a disadvantage now. So what it means is that an owner's personal wealth can be seized to cover the balance owed. So it means if there is a debt that is there in a partnership stops operating, the debt of the partnership can overlap in the sense that even the personal properties of those partners can be seized so that they can cover the balance that are owing. So this is what we have in terms of having an unlimited liability, which is not there in terms of a company. A company has got a limited liability. So this is what we have in terms of this part of the question, which is 1.3. Then we can move on to see what we have next there. So on the next question now, we are now here, complete the following table, write only answers next to the number. So we have got 1.41 up to 1.410. So this is what we have. So what we have here is that we have got VAT exclusive. We have got the VAT exclusive, then we've got 15% VAT column, then we've got the VAT inclusive column. So there's some important points that you have to note there that are on VAT exclusive. There, the representation in terms of the proportion of percentages, we are saying here we've got 100%. Here is 100%. And then on VAT, of course, we have given it there as 15%. and then VAT inclusive becomes this VAT exclusive plus the VAT here. If we add here, then you get VAT inclusive there, which is 115. So this is the representation of the proportions in terms of the percentages. So this is going to help us find these missing figures that we have there. And then we can also use the formula that we are going to say VAT exclusive, VAT exclusive, then we add the VAT that we have, you will get the VAT inclusive. So this is what we have. So we can also we can use optionally we can use this formula, or we can use this formula to find this missing figure. So you see which one is appropriate to each and every that we want to calculate. So we're going to start on 1.41. So for us to use this one, we cannot use this one because we don't have again this figure because we have got two unknowns there. So we can use this one by making use of proportions, whereby we are saying this 9,454 is equal to 100%. What about 50% is equal to what? Then we make a proportion, then we find the figure for 50% that is going to come here. Then for this one, 1.4.2, we now use this one. We are now saying this one plus this one to get this one. Then we get our figure here. So we can go to 1.4. We are now on 1.4. So on 1.4, we are saying 1.4. On the first part, on 1.4.1, we are using proportion, whereby we are saying, let's just check the figures that we have there. We have 100% equal to 9,454. 100% equal to 9,454. So the figure that we want to look for is 15%. So this is the figure that we want. So we can just make a proportion whereby now we are saying, when we have such a scenario, we are saying what we have is 100% and what we don't have is 15%. Because this is what we don't have, 15%. And the given figure is this one. So this one represents the given figure. You can just take it from that angle, given figure. And this is what we don't have. What we don't have. Then what we have is this one. So you can just use the formula that you say, what we don't have, you put it as what? As a numerator. Then what we have, you put it as a denominator. Then you multiply by the given figure. As simple as that. So this is what we are going to do there. So we can just substitute the figures that we are given there. Now we are saying what we don't have is 15 and there, 15, and then we say over what we have is 100. Then we multiply by the figure that we are given there, which is 9,454. 9,454 over 1. So let's try to calculate and see what we are getting there. So if you calculate that one, you'd see that you are going to get 1,418.10. So this is what we have. Then we move on to the second part, which is 1.4.2. 1.4.2. So on 1.4.2, remember, we can go back to see there. 1.4.2 is this one now. We are now using this formula whereby we are saying this one plus this one is equal to this one. Remember, we now have this figure. So we say this one plus the figure that we got here, then we get this one. So 9,454, we add the answer that we got there. So here now we are saying 9,454. And then we add this one, 1,000. We add 1,418.10. So if you add the two, you are going to get 10,872.10, which is 10 cents. Here, this is what we have on 1.4.2. Then we move on to the next one, which is 1.4.3. You can go and check what the figures that we have there. 1.4.3 is here. So we have also two unknowns here. This one and this one we are not given, but we are given this one. So we can, for 1.4.3, we can use proportion there. Remember, this is 100% and this is 150%. So the figure that we are given is for 150%. So we are saying 150% is equals to 45,900. What about 100%? So this is what we have there. we say 115 is equals to 45,900. The figure that we are looking for is 100. So this is the figure that we are going to calculate. So with that now, we can now say, remember the formula that I gave there, that what we don't have becomes the numerator. What we have becomes the denominator. Then we multiply by the given figure, which is 45,900. So this is what we have. So we calculate that one for 1.4.3. You are going to get our 39,930.04. Remember, if the answer that you are getting is got many commas here, many figures after the commas, you just round off to the nearest two decimal places, because this is money. You've got cents, and cents are rounded off to nearest two decimal places. So this is what we have. So this is the answer for 1.4.3. Then we can move on to the next one, which is 1.4.4. So on 1.4.4, we can go back again to check what we have. There 1.4.4 is now here. So what does it mean? It means we have this one, this, but we don't have this one. So we can use this formula again, whereby we are saying the one that we are looking for now is the VAT. So we can say when we make VAT subject the formula here, we say VAT. Let's make our VAT there the subject of the formula. When we make our VAT subject the formula there, then it becomes VAT is equals to VAT inclusive minus, we take this VAT exclusive this side, and it becomes negative, minus VAT exclusive. So this is what we have. So basically what we are going to do to find this figure, we are going to say this one minus this one. 45,900 minus this one. Then we get your VAT. So here we are just saying for the next one, we are now saying the figure that we are having there for inclusive, we can just cross check, is 45,900. So we are saying 45,900 there, and then we subtract this one, 39,913.04. So the answer that we are going to get there on 1.4.4 is 5,986, 5,986.96. And this is in rands money. So this is what we have in 1.4.4. Then we can move on to the next one, which is 1.4.5. 1.4.5. So you can check what we have in terms of 1.4.5. Right, we come here, 1.4.5 is here. We are given this one, which is 15%. So we make a proportion again. 15% is equal to 750. What about 100%? So 15 is equal to 750. So we come here, we say 15 is equal to 750, and the one that we are looking for is 100%. So this is what we have. So what we don't have is 100, so it becomes our numerator. What we have is 15%, which is becomes our denominator. Then we multiply by the given figure, which is 750 over 1. Then we calculate that one. Right, when we calculate that one, what do we get there? This is now this is now 1.4.5. We are now on 1.4.5. So let's try to calculate. When we calculate there, we get 5,000. So this is what we have. Then we move on to the next one, which is 1.4.6. We are here, 1.4.6. So on 1.4.6 now, we can go back again to check what we have there. 1.4.6 is here. So we now have this figure. So we can just use this formula by saying this one plus this one to get this one. So the answer that we got there, we add 750 there. So we are saying 5,000 plus 750. And obviously here it will become 5,750. So this is what we have. Then the next one is 1.4.7. 1.4.7 is here. 1.4.7 is 15% again, but you are given this exclusive. So this one also you can use proportion, or you can just say the 15% of this one, you get this one. Or alternatively, you can use proportion, whereby you're saying 100% is cost this one, what about 15%? or we can just straight away say 15% of times 51,350. So we can go there and just use the simplest one. Is 51,350 there. Then we multiply by 15%, and 15% is 15 over 100. This is what we can do. And there's a decimal, it becomes, if you want to simplify it further, it becomes 51,350. This one as a decimal becomes 0.15. And you multiply there, what you get, 1.4.7, you get 7,702. Here it's 7,702. 0.50. We can just cross check that figure. We have 51,350 times 0.15. You get 7,702.50. So it's correct. So this is what we have here. 1.4.7. Then we go to the next one, which is 1.4.8. So we have 1.4.8. On 1.4.8, we can check where it is. We are here. So basically, we are saying this one plus this one. The answer that we got there, we add to 51,350. 51,350. Then we add to 7,702.50. So we add there. You get 59,052.50. So this is what we have on 1.4.8. Then we move on to the next one, which is 1.4.9. 1.4.9. Then we can go back to check what information that we are given there. 1.4.9 is here. We can use proportion here. 15% is goes to this one. What about our 100% to get our VAT exclusive? 15% is goes to 24 Rand 30. We are saying 15% is goes to 24 Rand 30. So the figure that we are looking for is 100%. So it's a question mark. We don't have it. So what we don't have is 100, the numerator. What we have becomes the denominator. We multiply by the given figure, which is 24 Rand 30 over 1. So this is what we have. Then we multiply that one. Let's try to see what we get there. You get 162. 162. Then the next one, obviously, is the last one, which is 1.4.10, which is 1.4.10. We are here. Now, to get this one, simply we are saying this one plus this one, then we get this one. So that's what we are going to do there. 2430 plus this one, we are saying 162. We add 24 Rand. We've got 24 Rand here. 24 Rand. We've got 24 Rand there. 24 Rand 30. Then the answer that we are supposed to get there is 186. 186.30. So this is what we have, guys, in terms of this question one on the question paper of November 2022. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come. Those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share. We'll meet again in the next video. We are still coming with more videos as we prepare for our exams. For today, I'm signing out.